He said, if you throw your phone, I'll let you live.
That was one threat 18-year-old Aurora Dahl says she heard from Caleb Anderson the morning of August 1st. At 6 o'clock, Dahl was out for a run on Gastro Road, a route near her home she has run for 2 years.
Farther down my run, probably a mile into it, I heard footsteps behind me, and I turned around and he was like there running towards me. He looked at me and said, I'm doing a social experiment, I'm doing a social experiment. And in his hands, he was holding duct tape, and it looked like mace, kind of, but I didn't know for sure what it was.
Dahl did not fall for the ruse, and she says Anderson attacked her.
And he was trying to throw me to the ground, and I was just resisting it, and somehow he ended up behind me trying to choke me. And my dad always taught me if someone is behind you trying to choke you, kick your feet out from under you, because they're not going to be expecting like the sudden change in like movement of weight.
Dahl says the physical assault continued for 10 minutes. She was hit in the face and bleeding.
There was one time where he was like on top of me with his hands around my throat, and I just kind of like hip thrusted him off of me.
After she escaped, Dahl ran home and called the police. Later that week, she learned about Anderson's connection to homicides in Greenbay in Alabama.
I was the only person that was lucky with an encounter with him to make it out.
Dahl says she slept with the lights on every night until Anderson was apprehended, afraid he would come back. The 18-year-old says her life has changed forever. How are you feeling now? Have you gone running again on that same area?
No, I don't think I ever will. And I will never go alone ever again.
Michigan State Police Iron Mountain Post Commander Lieutenant Jeremy Hosworth says Dahl's recollection of the assault was critical in developing a sketch and identifying Anderson.
To have an eyewitness that survives an attack like this is critical, and then her presence of mind was incredible. She allowed specific details that we would have no other way of getting, and was able to put a timeline together and vehicle description that put us way ahead of the game.
Dahl says she went running for the first time after the assault Thursday with the company of her mom. Anderson remains in an Alabama jail.
We're sitting there watching TV, and we heard what sounded like a gunshot.
Appleton resident Kelly Minks lives across the street from where police shot a man Friday night.
My roommate went outside, looked around, no big deal.
At 7:22, police arrived on scene.
It's about 5-6 minutes later, he looked out the window, and all the cops were all over. They were in our driveway, running across our lawn.
Officers say they tried to negotiate with the man, but at 8:04, they fired their weapons. Oh, God. Hitting him. Residents in Appleton received a notification on their phones 7 minutes later, telling them to stay inside and away from windows. The man was taken to the hospital, where he was later pronounced dead.
I couldn't get to sleep. It was very late when I finally got to sleep after seeing it, especially in this neighborhood.
Minks says the area has been pretty quiet since she moved into the neighborhood 1 year ago.
The craziest thing that happens is a dog is on the loose.
She believes more people are going to be more open to talk to their neighbors after an incident like this.
And get to know them so that way they can really see if something's going on, and maybe something like this could be prevented in the future.
Nate Wolf is the alderperson for the district. He was at the scene and touched on the importance of mental health.
We need to learn the signs of people in crisis and help them out when we can.
Another alert was sent at 8:22 p.m. informing residents that the situation was resolved.
There's a new number. It's 311 for people in crisis. And we can get through anything that you're going through together. You're never alone.
Democrats and Republicans haven't wasted any time reacting to the firing of Michael Gableman.
I'm glad this is behind us. And, we don't know anything new that we didn't know when this investigation started, which shows what a waste it is.
Democrats like Attorney General Josh Kaul said the investigation should have never happened to begin with. In a statement released by Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, he says the probe resulted in a positive outcome. The results, along with the Legislative Audit Bureau, clearly showed concerns and problems with the 2020 elections. That's why legislature passed 19 bills and 3 constitutional amendments focusing on the issues.
It was a colossal waste of tax dollars that was designed to promote the big lie. So I'm glad that it is finally over.
Gableman was let go by the same man who hired him. Voss, also a Republican, says there was no other choice but to end the investigation. He says the party now has a new focus. For those like me who remain concerned about ensuring we have election integrity, we have a simple solution: to focus on our efforts to elect a Republican governor in November so we can pass the bills that were vetoed by Governor Evers. Call says the investigation hasn't done anything to disprove the validity of the election.
What we do know is that we have free, fair, safe, and secure elections in Wisconsin, and that the results of our elections reflect the will of the voters as they should.
Call hopes this leads to Republicans stepping back from what he calls the big lie.
Based on the comments I saw from Speaker Voss today, unfortunately, he hasn't done that fully yet.
The announcement was made just days after Voss won his primary race against an opponent endorsed by Gableman and former President Donald Trump.